So this has nothing to do with Fightful, nothing to do with Sean Ross Sapp, nothing to do with their credibility. It has nothing to do with Triple H and whether or not you people think he needs PR like assistance. Like, get the fuck out of here, you dumb marks.
Here comes trouble!
Welcome to a special edition of the Meop Express. And before I get started, I just wanted to call out that I'm dressed like this because I want you all to know just how unserious you all are. The topic I'm going to talk about, some people think is a really serious topic in professional wrestling. And to debunk that, I'm going to dress like this in my basement on a Sunday to address it. Because I am fed up with the pure stupidity of the wrestling audience, the wrestling community, all of these pundits, all of these freaking people with a damn opinion online that makes no sense. And it's up to me, it's up to someone with an actual brain to break it down for all of you. So, unless you were under a rock last night, the WWE put on Backlash. They were in France, and it was an awesome show. And we got to the press conference afterward, where you would think we would talk about the show, but we did not. So here's the problem. Here's what's going on. So Triple H was asked during this presser about Drew Gulak. You would think that given a media credential, you'd want to ask something about the PLE in France that just happened, where the crowd was going absolutely nuts. But no. A reporter goes on to ask Triple H about, hey Trips, Drew Gulak was released, and I read on Fightful and I read on PWI that, this may have something to do with Ronda Rousey, obviously alluding to, the allegations or the misconduct that was going on there. And that's all serious stuff, and I'm not here to debate whether how serious that is, but what I'm trying to say is that you idiots just don't understand why asking that question is stupid. You just don't get it. So I'm going to explain it to you. And before I get started with that explanation, just to be clear, this has nothing to do with Fightful. This has nothing to do with PWI. This has nothing to do with Triple H. Those guys are fine. Sean Ross Sapp, people are going to have their opinion about him. Me, if I had to bet my life on someone actually getting wrestling news right, I would probably go to Fightful. Okay? It's tough enough to report on professional wrestling in general because it's not a real sport, you dumb marks. But they, I think, at least do the best job of trying to be as journalistic as humanly possible, considering this is not a real sport. So this has nothing to do with Fightful, nothing to do with Sean Ross Sapp, nothing to do with their credibility. It has nothing to do with Triple H and whether or not you people think he needs PR like assistance. Like, get the fuck out of here, you dumb marks. Let me explain this to you. So this is what happens. This is why it has nothing to do with Triple H. The problem with what's going on at these press conferences and these pressers, and this goes for AEW too, is that you reporters or people given these media credentials don't understand why you're actually there. You are not there to be credentialed journalists. You're not Adam Schefter. You're not anyone from traditional media. This isn't an actual sport. This is a show. You're part of the show when you go to the press conference. That's why half the wrestlers are talking in kayfabe about things that don't actually exist, that things that aren't actually real. It's a storyline that they're talking about on television, and you guys think you're all trying to be Dan Rather over here. You're trying to act like you're the 10 o'clock evening news. Like you're really breaking down, like you're really doing your journalistic integrity. Like, shut the fuck up. No, you're not. You're at an event to just talk about the event. That's the point of having these pressers. It's to give good publicity to WWE. It's about to act to the event, and it's about creating content. It's not about being real journalists. None of you are real journalists. You guys do have editorials. It's not a real sport. Half the shit is based on speculation. For the past 20 years, Vince McMahon has been booking a show 10 minutes before they go live. He's been rebooking it while it's live. And you guys think you got scoops? You're going to report on that type of shit? No, it's speculation. It's entertainment. You call it reports because there's really no other word to call it. Sure, you guys get some stuff right. You know, Fightful gets stuff right all the time. Sean Rossap, he's got scoops. He reports on them, and a good amount of the time, they're correct, right? They actually happen. When someone's released, he finds out about it. He has some sources. Great, report on that. But to think that these press conferences are for any other reason than just to extend the entertainment value to the fans that are on Peacock watching a PLE is bananas. It's crazy. So the problem here isn't how credible these news sources are. All of you going crazy about Triple H saying that he needs to have fucking management. He needs to go to training. You idiots. Has nothing to do with that. It's everything to do with these reporters don't understand why they're there and why they have the press credential. So let's look at this here. Let's just give you some examples so you can actually understand what I'm talking about. So recently in the news, you saw that Pat Bev, right, who's an actual NBA player in a real sport, there was issue taken with him because of the way he addressed a reporter. If a reporter starts asking him a question, he's pissed off. Clearly, he was in a bad mood. He asks, hey, have you subscribed to the pod? Oh, no, you haven't? You can't interview me, right? That was seen as something with low taste. I have my own opinion on it, but that was seen with some low taste. I think you can clearly read the lines if you've been following Pat Bev as to what to expect when you're interviewing him. But anyway, that was not perceived well, and he got thrown into the fire online. People just coming at him. Every single person under the sun was coming at him. Now, doesn't seem like anyone had an issue with that because it's a professional environment. Now, let's look at the WWE. What happened at WrestleMania? Chris Van Vliet, the most respected interviewer in the game, period, gets access to everyone because of the type of job that he does, how respectful he is, how much he does his research, how due diligent he is with his research, how his production is top-notch, how he's just a great guy with a great jawline, who's extremely good-looking, who actually gives a good presentation for the wrestling audience, which is usually stuffing their faces with Dunkaroos and Sloppy Joes. Chris Van Vliet asked Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns a question. And he addressed Paul Heyman first. And they didn't like that. And they went straight into character. And they basically put him on blast. They made a fool out of him. Does anyone have an issue with that? Did anyone have a problem with that? Did anyone come to CVV's defense there? Not really. And you know why? Because it's a damn TV show. They were in character. It made sense for what was going on. Did it suck that Chris couldn't get the question out? Yes. Did it suck that it had to be him because he's so well respected and everyone loves him? Yes. But no one's going, oh my God, Roman Reigns and Paul, how could they dare? How could they dare address a reporter like that? Shut up. How could they dare talk to a reporter like that? They're in character. Half the show is in kayfabe, you idiots. This isn't real reporting. It's not real. This is not traditional media. Stop trying to make professional wrestling traditional media. It's not. It's not. It's scripted. It's a television show, bro, as Vince Russo would say. Bro. Jesus Christ, how you people don't understand that the problem is that you're not there to ask these type of questions. There's media calls for that, or there's actual people that are respectful in whether it's in the law because of what you're talking about. It's a serious subject, right? With allegations, misconduct. Those are all serious things. And there's a time and place and a forum for that. It's not a PLE press conference that is specifically designed to allow you to be part of the show in some way. This isn't playing gotcha. You're not doing any real journalistic, acts here. You're not breaking news. You're not that important. You're a person with a podcast. It's like me showing up like this at a wrestling press conference and asking a question about alleged misconduct. I look like a fucking idiot. And so did that reporter. It sounded like an idiot. Hey, Trips, Fightful reported this. What the fuck are you talking about? They were just in France. He's talking about Jey Uso's entrance. Huh? Talk about Tiffy Time. Talk about something that's relevant. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to get involved with the story. You have a chance to weave yourself, potentially say something that may flip in Tripp's brain. They'd be like, oh, that's a good idea. That's a little seed that was planted. That's interesting. Maybe we could use this in some B-roll, right? That's the point of it. It's to make content. Yeah, he's on the business side. Yeah, he's an executive. But this isn't the forum for that. And for all the defenders of the Tony Khan thing, AEW wouldn't be saying the same thing. I said the same thing. I don't think those questions should be asked there either. Look how good that worked out for everybody. When you try to take something that's an actual show, right, and you have reporters probing into serious shit, and then you have people that aren't going there, whether they're an executive or a wrestler, who are prepped and ready to answer these real questions about real issues. It's not real. The press conference is not real. It's part of the show. You're so fucking stupid. Oh, and then the people online. I mean, let me bring some of this stuff up while I'm just ranting here. Like, I'm just absolutely ranting because I just cannot get over the fact that you people think that it's just normal to behave this way and to talk like this at these press conferences. Like, you get a media credential and this is what you're leading with? This is what you're talking about? I mean, it's absolutely insane. Hey, let me bring it up here. Let's bring up this genius's reply. So I responded to this guy, this white knight over here, David, parenthesis, White Boy Groove, at White Boy Groove. Let's break this one down. Here are his notes. So I just saw Triple H's comments about PWI and Fightful. Here are my thoughts. Here we go. Let's read this scholar's notes. I don't know so much about PWI, but Fightful is heavily accurate with the most things they report. Neither deserve to be lashed out like that. Apparently, Triple H apologized privately. That apology needs to be made public as loud as the disrespect. Triple H needs media training or someone else needs to handle the WWE media scrums. And number 4, to anyone who's upset at this post, your tribalism means nothing to me because you're the same people who would be all over Tony Khan if this happened in AEW. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. What kind of stupid. Oh, you broke out your notes app to write this out? You don't know what you're talking about. Again, the problem isn't how Triple H responded to the reporter. The problem isn't how credible Fightful is or how credible PWI is. The problem is that the reporter thinks that they have the ability or have earned the right to ask that question in that forum. They don't know why they're there. They're confused. They think they're doing real reporting here. There's no real reporting to happen. You're part of the show. That's the problem. The reporters should never be putting themselves in a position where they're asking about real life shit. Like, here's another example. My buddy Brian told me. So this is the same thing as if you were to go to Comic-Con, right? And Ashton Kutcher is doing a panel, right, about his new movie. So like, there's a topic to be talked about there, and then he just goes, "Hey, you have any opinion on the Danny Masterson verdict?" No, you wouldn't say that because it would be idiotic to do that because it's off topic. No one's there to hear that. It's entertainment what you're there for. You're not given a credential to do your journalistic integrity. All right? You're not a beat reporter. You're not a journalist. You're just a person with a website who likes to cover wrestling. It's probably like elbowdroprules.com news. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. It's pro wrestling. It's not that serious. That's why I'm dressed like a fucking idiot right now. Because it's not that serious. You guys are trying to make it serious because you're trying to be reporters in a niche thing that is not a real sport. I don't know what the romanticism is of you trying to do that. Why are you trying to do that? Just report on it as entertainment. You'll be a lot more successful trying to do that instead of trying to make it the most real thing ever. It's not real. It's not. Breaks my heart to say it. It's not real. It's just not. Triple H did nothing wrong. Absolutely not. He was probably taken back by the fact that he's getting that question in that setting. That's why he didn't have the greatest response. I'm sure he doesn't want to bury Fightful. I'm sure he doesn't want to bury PWI. Right? But he's not looking to that stuff. Like, the WWE doesn't need any of this. They're a fucking rocket ship like fucking Meteor. They don't need any of this stuff. They give access, I'm sure. I'm sure Sean has his sources there. I'm sure he's been in some high-level conversations at one point, talked to some big wigs. But that's as far as it goes. What are we talking about here? What, you guys think you're Scott Van Pelt? Like, what do you think you are? Jesus. Like just take yourself so damn seriously. Just a bunch of goobers that just don't understand that you're being allowed to be part of the show. Something you haven't earned or deserved, but WWE wants to show that they have a press conference after these shows. It's a good way to keep things going, keep people tuned into Peacock, make more money, promote. You're not there to get gotcha questions and ask about allegations between Ronda Rousey and Drew Gulak. Jesus. Let's see if I got anything else here from any of you other scholars. Let's go. Let's see. Any other scholars we got here? Let's see. Do we have any other scholars? Here, we're going to go to my, let's go to my profile because I know I got another one where this is what you're going to see online, okay? This is what you're going to see online. What I'm about to bring up right now is exactly what happens when you have these white knight pro wrestling fans that don't actually have any opinion for themselves, okay? This is what you're going to see. So I'm talking about Triple H and why I don't think he's wrong. Why I don't think he's wrong at all. And then you got this fella right here. Do you not think that sexual allegations as misconduct should be a question that's asked? Do you not think it's serious enough to be asked? That's I gotcha. That's trying to minimalize. That's trying to just push on me that I'm minimalizing what's being talked about here. No one's minimalizing anything. What I'm saying is that is not the forum that questions should be asked. And that reporter from whothefuckknows.com should not be asking it. That's the problem. So to recap for you morons, you idiots out there who don't understand what is going on here. This is not about Triple H and his comments. This is not about Fightful and their credibility. This is not about PWI and their credibility. The issue here is the press conferences that the WWE are putting on is part of the show. It has a distinct direction on what the content should be in that forum. If you think you're not there to talk just about the PLE or promote things that WWE has going on, or maybe even ask a question in kayfabe, which is perfectly acceptable, then you have no fucking business being in there. You don't understand the purpose of what the press conference is. That's the issue. And if you guys don't understand that, you are just wasting your time online. You're wasting your time online trying to talk about your points, trying to say Triple H was disrespectful. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you don't even understand the concept of where all this originated from. And this is the last thing I'll end on. If you're WWE, if I'm WWE and you want me to give you some advice, you don't need to take it. You probably won't. Put some guardrails and guidelines in these press conferences. Let these marks, these reporters, know that there are specific type of questions that you can ask at these. I don't care if you think that's imposing on my journalistic. Shut your mouth. You don't have journalistic integrity. Okay? Not if you're writing a fucking blog. You don't. Just play the game. Pun intended. Play the game with Triple H. Because we're all part of the show here. They're giving you access to huge events. Treat it with respect. Treat it with the way it should be. Try and promote the product. Try and level up the product. And that goes for AEW too. I'm Nicky the Good. I got the right answers. All of you marks out there that don't agree with me, you're all just a bunch of idiots. Later, marks.